10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Radiance ban. Radiance pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Invoker.
Dyer's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time.
Omni-Knight. Tide Hunter.
Dyer's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Radiance ban. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Dyer's ban. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's pick. Dyer's pick.
Storm Spirit.
that, everybody get set. "30 seconds to showtime." And away we go. First blood, folks.
Well-gotten gains.
That was but the first taste of revenge.
Haste!
Two down.
Fortune's change.
Okay, sorry for missing the first little bit of the game, guys. Some technical problems with my streaming setup. I'm gonna quickly go through the roster Radiant has feeding MMR on the Tidehunter, Kobe the Manicorn on the Spectre, Waggle on the Invoker, Lurk on the Leshrac, and Baska on the Vengeful Spirit. For the Dire, Team Dope, No Daddy Big Tail on the Gyrocopter. We have Banamana on the Storm Spirit, XD on the Shadow Shaman, Frozen Cruer on the Omni Knight, and up in the top lane, Nightman 008 on the Timbersaw. So, let's go back through time a little bit because I did miss First Blood. So the Gyrocopter got First Blood and also killed the Leshrac, so 2 sports early. Then Radiant clawed back with kill on the Gyro, kill on Omni Knight. And oh, there was actually a rune kill, so pardon me, Benj actually got the First Blood. So now we're back up to date and we're in a big good place for this game. Let's check out the last hits and denies. We got Storm Spirit leading the board 17-3, followed by the offlane Tidehunter 16-2, safe line Spectre 14-2, the Timbersaw at the top 10-2, and the Gyro's 10-3. Invoker in the mid lane's doing not so well with 8-5 against the Storm. Venge 2-0, Omni 2-0, 1-1 for the Shadow Shaman, and Goose Eggs for the Leshrac. So of note right now, Tidehunter's hit level 6. He's would have enough for mana boots if he chose that route, or he could be saving all his gold for a faster blink dagger. We'll wait and see what way he decides for that one. Let's actually check items in general. So the Gyrocopter looks like he's on his way to his Ring of Aquila. Just needs to get the Wraith Band delivered. Omni, gonna go Soul Ring, of course. The Spectre seems to be just saving for the Radiance. Just picked up, Midas recipes, so gonna accelerate that farm pretty good. Lash looks like he's going for an urn. Let's check the top lane, the Timbersaw. Let's go to 1,000 gold almost, so probably his mana boots. The Tide he's definitely saving for his blink.
No sorceries avail.
What did I miss? Nothing. So Storm, he has his treads finished up, which is good. And not much on the Shaman. Everyone, I believe, has boots, at the very least. Nope, not our Leshrac. He's a slow motherfucker. And, pardon me, Spectre as well, because Spectre's full. Midas. So, Spectre has the Midas up on mine. Timbersaw's now picked up his mana boots, which, pardon me, good item. Nice triple stack here, I think, at least for the Spectre. So good work by probably the Vengeful to get that fat stack going. Tide, so about 700 gold away from his blink. We got cluster around here bottom, so slow, and Omni goes in repel. Initiation on the Venge. Venge is dead. Stun on the Storm. And wow, longest range jackal ever. And that's a dead Spectre. So Spectre got her Midas. It's on cooldown at least, so it's not the end of the world, but lots of potential farm that the Spectre is losing out on.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Invoker is sort of sauntered here to contest the rune, but that Storm Spirit had
Dire's
better
mid
position
tower
on
is
low
having
ground.
technical difficulties.
Tide's doing well up in this top lane. He's leading the last hit charts. If we go to net worth, Storm and Gyro are both basically neck and neck. Ooh, missed to the bottom. Gyro gets taken by the Spectre. So brought the Gyro down a little bit in net worth and allows Spectre to catch back up, which both row ones are about even. Both carries. pretty much on par on farm. Invoker moving a bit up in the ladder. Tide is getting dangerously close to his blink dagger, just 200 gold, so gonna be a really fast blink, although without mana boots, which it's a trade-off. I tend to prefer going mana boots just to be a bit safer and have a little bit more utility early, but if Tide can get it to work, then all the power to him. Gets zoned out by the Timber Saw. Venge spots out the gyro. Venge is only level 4, so only a stun, and then nope, no follow up from the Spectre or the Leshrac, so no stun, no dagger slow. Nothing really going on here. Tide, just one last hit, or just a few seconds away from finishing up his blink dagger, which will aid it. If he gets a blink dagger and then a TP scroll, he can. He's low on mana, so that's not gonna work. I was gonna say if he had both, he could do a lot of damage in this lane. He's getting zoned out by the gyro, but he's purchased blink, so death would almost actually be an okay thing in this context, because Dom gets some full mana. Bottom's here. Gyro has more mask, so well on his way to his helm, which good item. If he's able to stack with it, then it should accelerate his farm greatly. Still walking courier on the Dire side, which is questionable. Little Pudgeling coming out with the Timber Saw's Soul Ring, so obviously a Bliet Stone soon. Didn't get to do my effigy check. Warfling is Jesus. Cool Pudge run. Oh, we got some stuff going on here. This is the outlook for Ravage, so not the greatest Ravage because of the repel, but still overall a good, decent play. This man is really dangerously low. Misses stuns. The gyro gets away with 100 HP, but all in all, 1-for-0 trade. Tide Ravage was blown. Unfortunate that the gyro was repelled, because that would have been a for sure double kill, but whatever, they can take what they'll get. Gives them a bit of a boost in the XP. Oh, Storm's initiating on this Leshrac. That is one dead Leshrac. So, pretty even match thus far, and gyro's disconnected, so we have a pause going on here. So let's take this to actually go and examine our effigies. So we got Pudge here, the Morphling here, which that one's pretty funny. Emerald Spirit, that one's pretty boring, but still looks nice. What else do we have? Oh, and then we have I'm the Juggernaut bitch, which looks pretty amazing in itself as well. Dire, do they have any effigies? They have Amiibo one, which oh, Gyro's reconnected, so we'll be back in the game soon. Yep. Dire doesn't have any refugees anyways, so good time.
Radiant's top tower
We'll
is
go back
hurting.
down to this bottom lane, see what happens.
Radiant structures must
The
have
Dire
been
is grouped up
fortified.
as 4 currently in the
Radiant's
bottom
top
lane,
tower is taking
looking
hits.
potentially for a push. Timber is applying some pressure to the top lane, just
Radiant's top
see
tower
if he
is
can't
in
get his
bad
tower.
shape.
Invoker's set up here. He has EMP Tornado bust off. Now Timber's got no mana, and now he's dead duck. Full snap. Invoker just needs phase boots, and oh, and Leshrac picks up the kill with the lightning storm. So good EMP Tornado, good, nice little gank by the Invoker on the Timber. So he was overextended a bit with no dire vision in this half of the map, so he was super vulnerable, and Dire had committed 4 heroes to the bottom lane, which did present a good opening for the Radiant team. Let's see.
Denied!
Last hits. So Dire's taken over for last hits, but Radiant's still holding their own in terms of net worth. Spectre's the only one, but that's Midas that's paying off there. So, Invokers. So, we have a pretty good distribution on both teams' cores in terms of farm. They're all pretty close. The only difference is that the Dire team's mid did get a little bit more at the laning stage than the Radiant mid, but Invoker should be able to recover quite nicely. He is the highest level in the map, so that's more important for an Invoker than straight out farm. And he has picked up a Midas as well, which will just help him have a little bit safer farm. It is a late Midas, 13 minutes, so not ideal, and he does use it on a lane creep of all, but it could be worse. We got engagement down to the bottom on the bench. This is the advantage before the rocket hits, so I didn't really see why the bench was so far out over here, but she paid with her life there. Check out items again. Tide. He has a smoke and a blink. He's about 350 gold away from his mana boots. Spectre farming away, going for drums. So got the robes. About I think it's about 500 or 600 more gold to completion of that. I think it's 875 is recipe. I'm not 100% sure right now. I guess I could check. 875, yeah. So Spectre's getting close to having her drums. Just a couple 500 or so gold. 600. In comes the Leshrac to the bottom lane. Dire is focusing a lot of attention on this bottom lane. Up in the top, Tidehunter's all in trouble. Kraken Shell does help him a lot, and he's able to blink away. So Kraken Shell doing work, purges off the slow,
Radiant's
and
bottom towers.
does it purge off the attribute loss? I believe it did. So not that that's too relevant on Tide, because he is strength. So yeah, that's actually the attribute steal on strength tiers is really important because it steals primary attributes, so that's actually reduced HP as well. So Dire's set up camp in between
Radiant's bottom tower
the Radiant's bottom two and tier 2. Let's see what Australian Mafia can do to counter this, or they're just gonna let their tier 1 bottom fall for free. They've rotated everyone but the Invoker bottom, so they are smoked up as well, so maybe they can wrap around on the retreat. Let's see what happens. Pinged out by the stunned on the Omni Knight, and a Ravage is very good, and the double kill. Spectre gets 2, and not gonna haunt him for the 3rd. So very good Ravage, saves Avenge because the rocket died. Just clean 2 for 0, takes out the core, takes out a support, and gives a good chunk of change in XP to the Radiant team, which they are starting to pull ahead in terms of XP, but they're behind by about 1500 in gold, which XP is a little bit less relevant in this current patch, just due to the way that being ahead or behind in XP, just if you're behind in XP, you gain a lot more XP from everything you do. The Shaman there's a pretty big stack here. I don't know why. And Shaman just placed a ward, but I don't think they pinged out the ward, but he didn't have any, so they might not have actually realized that he placed a single one. Omni Knight's here, and of course they are pinging it out, both teams. Does Radiant have vision of that? They do now. Venge is here. I don't know. Venge can't do much because no stun.
Dire's bottom tower's
not
getting
on the
the
repel
business.
demon, of course.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
I don't know why Tide
What's with all
farmed
the
this
scribbling?
stack. It would have been better for someone to stack this and him to farm that and leave this to the Spectre or potentially the Invoker, but he's Quaswex, so not the best farming capabilities. with no Forge Spirits or any of that madness. Let's see, the Radiant is, or the Dire, pardon me, is clumped up near their Ancients. Stack and, ooh, yeah, 0 to 10 for the Shaman, breaking that stack, but gonna allow, so Gyro's also going for drums, it seems. He's just gonna farm up the Ancients pretty easily because of the Elm. Invoker, what spells does he have invoked currently? EMP Tornado, and then probably gonna go for a Cold Snap as well. Just gotta repel. Pings out. Radiant Courier. Why was Radiant Courier way over there? Strange. Oh, that's Seaweed Shop. That's a strange decision, I feel, but whatever works. Tide does have his mana boots now, so he's a little bit more useful. Oh, rockets going on this end. Somebody save the rest. Okay, good reaction from the Invoker to save the Venge from that rocket.
Do something about that bottom tower.
Blue pings out the Spectre. Why? I'm not sure. And Gyro pings out over there.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Dire's 2 wards in the Radiant jungle, so good vision there. Radiant finally got a ward up on this cliff. Was that after or before? After there, so oh, we got some movement up here top. They don't see the Timber, but now the Venge runs into the Timber. Let's see. Oh, outside of swap range, probably not. Blue did just draw a route here, so I'm not sure what the game plan is there. This game's kind of tapered off in terms of action. The Timbersaw has now completed his soul booster, so he's getting soul booster.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Wow, okay, he didn't dismantle his mana boots to complete it. Not the best decision. They can't really kill this Tide. And Gyro gets killed in Invoker mid, and they take mid tower. They really cannot kill this Timbersaw with reactive armor. He's just tanky as all hell, and that's a dead Vengeful Spirit. Pays out. Omni gets a bounty, and there's an Invision, so total rune control. I still think the Timbersaw is making a mistake with the Arcane Boots plus Soul Booster. He has an extra Void Stone that he really didn't need to spend, or Energy Booster, pardon me, that he really didn't need to spend that gold on. Pinging out the Shaman Words for somebody to farm, and that's completed Bloodstone, so pretty quick 20-minute Bloodstone. I disagree with the build-up. I think he should have just dismantled his Arcanes, but what do I know? Just gas. Oh, died here. Getting Ravage. Bust out the Ravage. Wow. Repel just ended, and there's 2. So, very good timing. Oh, and Venge stun someone, but that's a dead Venge. Call down. Boom. Tons of abilities burst just for a Vengeful Spirit. And a stun. Just a good thought for the stun, but didn't quite work. And the Invoker gets to the EMP Tornado, which now that Gyro has no mana to work with, so he can't bust really anything. And wow, very good play. Spectre gets kill on the Gyro, and the Leshrac finishes off the Shaman. So that was a 4-1 trade. So definitely worth it for the Venge bait. Just
top tower's in bad shape.
Did a lot of work. Lesh is gonna TP up here. He's gonna get the deny, but he's also gonna die just. So this Timbersaw is getting a lot of work done. He's 100 last hits at 20 minutes for a Timbersaw. Not too bad. He did get safe lane because the Dire team did run an aggressive trialing, so we will see what happens. Pings out the stack. Nobody stacked. Dire making a pretty aggressive movement into the Radiant jungle, but not really sure what they can do. Just farm, keep this lane pressured in. Timbersaw is working now towards his Aghanims. He's got the point booster, Tide. Tide, you can't kill this timber side. Don't try. You're tanky, but not that tanky. Same Spectre. Can't do this to There's a dead Tide on her. Oh, the stun. Finally, Venge has the magical burst. At least get the kill on the timber, so you guys can't kill him with physical damage, which is what the Tide's gonna provide in most situations. At least Spectre's return and Desolate is Pierce, so that does, or Dispersion, pardon me, does do pure damage, which makes it a bit more practical. Venge dies here by the top rune. Pretty easy gank for literally the entire Dire team there, but this Invoker needs to be semi-careful. He does have Ghost Walk already invoked, so he's not in too much risk of getting ganked, because he can just pop that, and no one on the Dire side has any detection, so definitely an easy getaway if the situation rises. Spectre has now completed her Diffusal Blade, so a bit more extra damage in the fight, and two of the Dire heroes, excuse me, are Agi or Strength, so teeny mana pools equals
Illusion.
easy, just diffuse the blade to make them useless, especially an Omni Knight. An Omni Knight with already mana, he's just useless in the fight. He can't. He's just sitting duck. But the Gyro low mana, a little bit more useful. Potentially, depends if he's gotten his skills off before he runs out of mana or after. We're in a bit of a static state currently. Everybody's kind of just standing around right now, not really wanting to engage. Venge tucks a wave, which the Dire team did smoke near the Ancients, which Radiant didn't have any vision of, but they're looking to gank the Spectre. Spectre does have a TP, but I think it might be too late. Oops, she's hiding in the trees. Smoke breaks, which Spectre gets revealed, and she wisely daggers over in the trees and hopefully TP's home. But I think that was a mistake played by the Spectre. Oh, actually, very smart part of me, waiting for the storm jump to be burnt before TPing. So, and sorry, the leash. So, apparently that was good patience by the Spectre to not just insta TP. Although I think that she would have had time had she. The Lesh stun well off the mark. That was a good attempt. Oh, the Spectre. The rocket from downtown, which probably went more like this. So, the rocket from everywhere, so funny rocket. As the Shaman does have his ulti up, so they're gonna just chuck on his tower. Good placement, I like it, because able to kill 10 creeps. Although placement here does allow a little bit more protection by the Dire of those words, but it won't matter. Radiant's not gonna put up a fight. They do ping on mid, so
there goes Radiant's
yep. Oh, Ravage on 2. This Tornado only catches the Omni Knight. So unfortunate, because had he caught the Storm, that would have been a solid play. But unfortunate.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
So Dire does take the bottom tier 2 tower pretty handily, so they're Radiant slowly losing map control, which they've yet to take a single tower of the Dire teams. XP graph is still in the Radiant's favor by about 1500, and the gold is well in the Dire's favor by nearly 5,000. Now it has, after it's updated, it is actually at 5,000 after the tower kill. So gold not in Australian Mafia's favor, but XP is. So Spectre is now working towards Fit Booster. is Heart or can't be Vanguard. Vanguard doesn't make sense. Oh, and Invoker's disconnected, so we got another pause here. I guess the Spectre could be working toward Heart. Doesn't make too much sense. Vanguard makes more sense, but I still fundamentally disagree with both items in this case. Radiance arguably more useful, but see. Let's go back to look at random stuff in the base cam. So, oh, cool. The Radiant team has one of the Mountainiacs, which I really should pick myself up one of those. Of course, Dire using the good old Pudge Hookling, which I still think is the worst courier, and it's just a shame that Valve released it. I think they could have done a lot nicer things with the TI4 courier, but win some, we lose some. We're still in beta, right, guys? Let's check out the ward styles. So we got the Windrunner, Wind Ranger, whatever. Windrunner for life. Ward here. Dire placed with a Venge ward, so kind of nice, two nice wards. And actually, Venge has a nice ward too.
Alright, carry
The
on.
Spring ward has placed almost 900 wards. What a support. They blocked the stack. The Dire did, so we'll see if Radiant will do anything with this. Oh shit. We got a fight here. Missed that. Guardian Angel gets popped. Taunt. That's
Six in a row.
dead. Dead hero. And it's a dead shaman. So 2 for 0 thus far, and
Welcome to the
but now
abyssal
here comes the
cave.
Timbersaw, which Timbersaw is gonna be able to do a lot of work in this fight. Just he does have net worth. He's up there in net worth. He already has his Ganem, so 2 Timber Chains to work with, and he's tanky as all hell. And I don't think that Australian Mafia currently has
Dire's
the
top
magical
tower's
burst
getting
damage to
beat
be able
down.
to take him down quickly. They are
The Dire might
depends.
want
Oh,
to mine
swaps
top
the
tower.
Gyre. Swaps. Then, ooh, what a solo ravage. Questionable. They got the cold snap. Got the EMP, so but he's got a bloodstone. So he's gonna regen that pretty quickly. Timbersaw. Oh, the Sunstrike almost on. We got Storm leaping in, pulling that Invoker. Invoker's a dead man. And Call Down lands on nothing like crazy.
Dire best
We
do
got the
something.
lightning from Lesh, but Lesh is a dead man.
2 down.
So, Australian Mafia had a good fight prior, but I think they just hung around a little bit too long.
Guess
and
what's happening to Dire?
let the Dire team respawn, and they just came back with a vengeance, and they're gonna turn this into a tier 2 tower push, I believe, which neither Spectre or
Radiant's mid tower's
Tide
getting banged
really
up.
have the ability to defend this currently, so
Radiant's gone and fortified their structures. Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
so tower just gets chipped away. Storm picks up a haster in the
Radiant's
top.
mid tower could use a
The
hand.
courier goes, and the courier finally gets Spectre's Sacred Relic, so
Radiant's mid
casual
tower ain't
booster
doing so
just for the
good.
tank ability, which is a legitimate strategy. I believe one of the more popular guides on the workshop does suggest that if you are getting bursted down, and you can build it into a heart or something else later, so at least it's not an actual completed item, or
The Dire
worse,
disowned the
a
bottom tower.
Vanguard, which Vanguard is okay in certain cases. This, I do not believe, is one of them, but I could be wrong. The Dire team has headed into the Roche pit, but easily spotted out unless I miss the smoke by this ward, so it's more of a matter of can the Radiant team fight it. Tidehunter ult is down for another 25 seconds. Oh, they haunt, so they haunt into the Roche pit, but all these illusions are just toasted. EMP, tornado hits on no. Oh, it's a good attempt, but hits on nobody. Tide doesn't quite have an ulti yet. Up in 6 seconds, but Spectre doesn't either. Oh, now Tide has an ult, so now they look to re-engage. Tide does have a Perseverance up, so he is well on his way to his refresher. Probably think about 2 to 3k gold remaining for the recipe plus the Oblivion staff. The Venge is in a bad place. Blue Dire, I don't think they had vision of this, so but now they do. Venge pulls out and shows herself. Don't think it's a great use of this time for the Spectre to be sitting around here. I think that having TP here and just push top,
Dire's mid
although
tower
Honda is
is
down,
having
so
technical difficulties.
I don't know. Just doing more farming instead of just sitting around in a circle would have been a better use. She has completed her Radiance now, so bit of a later Radiances are pretty centered on
tower. You know the drill.
Spectres, so I say that's kind of like it's a bad thing, but it's not. Got Voker, he's finally starting. Oh, he's really waxy. Which I guess is correct, but I would have expected a bit more. Oh, Storm jumps in. And let's see. Yeah, that's ooh, good swap of the Venge, but it's done too late. The Orchid damage comes in and finishes. Haunts in, which I think can he get the kill on the Spectre gets a kill on the Shaman with just the Radiance illusion. That's the worst as support. You need like a Manta just to be able to or Lion actually is really good at dealing with Spectre because he can simply just mana drain the illusion and poof, just pops instantaneously, but Shaman doesn't really have quite the same tools to deal with that kind of situation. Gyrocopter does have an MKB now online, just has to get it delivered. Yasha potentially turn into a Manta, but I'm not sure about that. I don't play Gyro very frequently. Omni Knight. I reckon is building towards an Aghanim's eventually. And Timbersaw with Sheepstick is most likely, I think. Yellow Lesh is pinging out for Tide to take this double stack, so good guy Leshrac support gets done. Spectre's up here farming, which I believe is correct for him to be doing right now. Plenty of gold, so. And he's not doing well in or not doing too poorly. 918, it's a decent score. I think, yeah, it's best on the maps right now, so. It's a good effort so far by the Spectre, and Radiant team is holding close. They have a 4,000 XP lead, which is great, and they have closed up the gold lead. It was as high as 7,500, but they've shrunk it down to between 3,000 and 4,000 gold, so. Dire. Oh, EMP gets a tornado, but doesn't quite hit. I think he was still tornado a little bit. Oh, here comes the illusions, and it's a dead Timbersaw, but now Guardian Angel with pop of the Omni, but a solo Guardian Angel, so very selfish play by the Omni, and now it's ended, and now it's time. Tide doesn't have Ravage, because he just blew it. Oh, and the Omni finally dives to the Radiance, but this is a dead Invoker, so a 4 for 2 trade, and Spectre is she has a stun targeted, so let's see. Oh, Spectre, can Spectre get away? She gets silenced, so it's a race. Another rocket. That's a good stuff. Not so great for the Radiant team, losing 5 in exchange for 2 dire, one of which was a sport, so definitely not worth it. And gigantic XP swing in favor of the dire team, and a good chunk of gold going their way as well. So that almost brings the XP back to even Stevens. Just when in updates it should be about even, and holy you have just this like
Radiant's mid
crest
coming
into just
apart.
plummet in the net worth graph after that fight. So not the greatest fight for the Radiant. It looked promising at first, but they weren't able to kill off the Omni Knight initially, and things just turned sideways pretty quickly. And right now it could go from bad to worse. Good gank by the Storm, good swap by the bench, but for what cost? It's just a bench dead, and as well. Nope, they're not quite gonna dive that one. Still gets the stun on the Leshrac, and
Radiant's top towers.
they're gonna take this without even needing wards. Wards aren't up for 5 seconds, so now Shaman has wards for their next push, or even next team fight. So Radiant's lost all of their outer towers, so they're sort of stuffed back into their base. See if they can't do anything. They don't have any vision on the map either. They have this ward, which I feel is very, very useless especially when you're in a defensive stance. As a team, you need more, you need wards just giving you vision of where you can even farm. So in Dire, or in Radiant, you have basically these 2 camps so you can safely farm. So you need a ward here. Here it gives you some vision, along with maybe one here or here, just to give you that solid vision of these 2 camps, which are safe, along with allowing you access to this camp and potentially even this camp, although riskier. So it gives you at least access to nearly your full jungle without too much safety problems. So I think the Radiant team does need to step it up with their warding. Ward like that, it's all red, I suppose, but it doesn't provide your cores the space to farm like they probably need. So we'll see what can happen here. Yellow's pinging out here, so are they gonna gather for a smoke? Does the Leshrac? Lesh doesn't have a smoke. Tide's well on his way. He actually is only, I think, a few gold away from his refresher. So does he pick it up? I think he's 100, pardon me. So very close to his refresher, and boom, that top tier 1 tower for the Radiant falls, or for the Dire falls, excuse me, and there he goes. So the Radiant is currently smoke ganking. They have path, but they're gonna run. Ooh, they're gonna smoke right into each other. They swap right away. They call down the con. It's a chaos. Ravage, good ravage, but and good meteor. Invoker's dead, and that's a dead bench. But they get the kill on the Timbersaw and the Diffusal. So the Spectre's coming here. Storm commits suicide, so it's effectively a 4-for-4 trade, but the Storm does drop. So very good team fight by Australian Mafia, good execution, and pulls the XP graph just back in their favor just a little bit, and starts to reverse the just plummet after the last disastrous team fight. That brings it back to about a 6,000 gold lead for the Dire team, which is at least manageable, and there's pressure being applied by the creep wave to this top tower as well, so there's a bit more. But then the Dire's going to shut this down, so that could have been just a little bit more gold influx into the Australian Mafia team, which, now that I think about it, if you take the net worth, and Tide's now finished his pressure, if you take into account tower gold, then this net worth graph isn't actually too far in the dire side's favor. If you take into account tower gold, I would say it's about 3,000 to 4,000, not 6,000 to 7,000 in favor of the Dyers. So the Radiant team does take a bit longer to come online. Like, Gyro has a decent amount of damage early on, but the Spectre does need to farm a few items, just like Diffusal, Heart. Now she's incredibly tanky, and I reckon next item is likely a Butterfly, just to make her illusions impossible to kill. So Spectre is getting pretty huge. If we look at net worth, Spectre's nearing 19,000 net worth. Oh, swap down here, and the longest raid's done, and the Leshrak's done, but there's not much follow-up there, so just a nice little walk from the gyrocopter. As I was saying, the Spectre's caught up pretty good in terms of net worth. The Storm has seemingly plateaued. Storm was leading the net worth for quite some time, but Dyer's just going to deny this mid-tier one. Storm was
the Dire disowned
top of the net worth charts, but he plateaued, and now he's sort of in... Dire still has 3 pretty farmed cores, but the Invoker and the Tide Hunter aren't too far off. And then there's this dirt poor Omni Knight who he's going for an eggs, but I don't think he'll have it for another 15 to 20 minutes, unless he just forgoes buying wards altogether. Invoker now picks up his Yule Scepter, so he has a Ghanums and Yules, so lots of options for this Invoker now. Now he doesn't have to rely too much on EMP Tornado for a solo kill. He can use just Yule's Deafening Blast Meteor or one of the various other combos that an Invoker has access to. And the Omni Knight has to go. And Omni Knight disconnects.
Someone's having technical
He's like
difficulties.
4,500 MMR. Or 4,500 gold, pardon me. Man fight mid. All mid. We're going for a showdown in the west here. Or not. Tide wants to play, so I think that's okay. Tide pauses. So we have another pause. Gyro disconnects. What? I'm gonna take this pause, just give myself a quick moment. I need to get a drink. So hopefully the gyro at least reconnects. So I'll just speak one quick moment. So while we wait for the gyrocopter to reconnect, the teams are having conversations about various things. They're saying the game is close. It is a close game. 5,000 gold in the way of the Dire. Radiant 2000 XP, but now they're talking about a die. So we wait patiently for the situation to resolve itself. Gonna mute my mic for a minute till we get back underway. And the gyro's reconnected, so we're back underway. Gyro, he's not actually reconnected now, he's just coming into the game, so he sat here just checking out these black dragons. Now he's back in, starting his farm. And now the Storm's complaining of lag, so...
Well-gotten gains. Haste!
Wow. We got a team fight here by the Spectre Illusions. They're... Nope, and they got him. Good harass from the Illusions, though. And maybe another pause. And we're back on our way. So Spectre did just pop her ult for a bit of harassment, so let's Storm did finish what's on the zone as well. They gotta put on alacrity onto this Spectre. They're trying to farm. She has a Yasha now, so my butterfly prediction was incorrect. She's definitely going for man style, so more illusions all the time. Spectre is pretty fat, 2800 HP, so hard to kill, especially with dispersion, which is like a pseudo butterfly in itself. So butterfly as well would just be a killer. Tide's up here set for a nice ravage. Timbersaw's chasing the left track. He could just get babe. He's walked in the bait. The EMP tornado here. The EMP does hit, but doesn't. Timbersaw's just huge mana pool that doesn't do that much. The stun and the swap, and that is a dead Timbersaw. So very, very solid play by us for the Mafia for that kill. Even with the gold grab from further, it's 3k with still the Dire has tier 2 towers up. The Dire and they're not quite fast enough. Tide picks up the Aegis, which I guess that works. So let's see what's gonna happen here. Spectre retreats back. They're all dropping. Dodo's server is dead. No, it's not. So net worth, the Gyro has caught a bit back up to the Spectre. They're both hovering around 21.5 net worth.
That's 4 in a row.
Spectre kills Gyro. What was I watching? She haunted it. Yeah, she haunted it, and I just didn't even see. An EMP gets popped on literally nothing. I guess it's a zoning EMP? Question mark? Or I guess it could have been a prediction in case they came up.
Ain't a pretty sight right
This ram into them.
Dyer's mid
Spectre,
tower
so.
could use a little help.
Gyro does have a buyback,
Tough
so
as nails for now.
they do have the ability to defend their tier 3 towers.
Dyer's mid
but
tower's having technical difficulties.
the Spectre has fought her way back to the top of net worth and is now about 1,500 ahead, and that's a tower dead, so
couldn't hang on to that
leapfrogs
mid-tower.
over 2k ahead of the gyrocopter, so and this net worth graph spiking back up to being bang on even, which I would say it's actually in Radiant's favor, provided they get the outer tier 2 towers here. But right now they seem to be just grouped up along mid. Gyro's up in 5, so they need to make stuff happen. Oh, it's Ravage there, and he's tied to it. Another Ravage, which this is a dead Timursaw. I don't think the double Ravage for Timursaw was necessarily worth it in my opinion, but
I'm grateful.
got the kill, puts another down, so there's 5 on 4 again, and Timursaw I suppose was a large amount of the dire team's damage, so neutralize that. Oh, Storm jumps in. Heals Invoker. And a stun Gyro, and Gyro drops. So got 2 down for the dire team, so this is now their time to turn into a push, while Ben is off here bottom split pushing this lane and to take this tower. We look at the gold graph now. Now it's 5,000 gold in favor of Australian Mafia. So
what's happening.
Radiant's really turned this around and pulled the game back in their favor. Oh, sheeped. And Gyro buys back this time. But tier 3 tower drops and the bench takes the bottom as well. Put this tide. Wow. That is a dead on the neck. Also tied. Aegis popped. Manta popped from the Spectre. Gets leashed into the storm. And we got just dives war here. Tied, thinking about going further. Makes an intelligent choice to back off a little bit. Hits the racks, so Australian Mafia takes now, and that was 1 rack. Up the bend, swaps the Timursaw. Timursaw could fall. Oh, Spectre on, and that's a dead Timursaw. So lots going on here. The Storm ropes a Spectre illusion and dead Shadow Shaman as well. So pops the Manta and gets the rocket too. So very good play coming out from Australian Mafia. They're gonna forego the bottom and the top and bottom racks and go straight for the tier 3s. Rocket's flying out at the Titaners, so he's gonna eat it like a champ. And then probably Kraken Shell nope, doesn't even need for it. EMP, Tornado hits, but it's a bit late. Still gets it, and that's a dead Gyrocopter. And Storm's talking this ping, which is true, and the dire team calls the GG. Zip in, zip, Ravage on the Omni Knight. Oh, gets a zip, but the GG gets triggered, so Australian Mafia pulls out a pretty solid victory. They looked like they're a little bit behind in the early game, but the Spectre came online and did an amazing amount of damage in the mid to late game, 600 GPM, which is a pretty solid demonstration. Unfortunate for the dire team that they had a disconnect. Hopefully they can get it sorted for a game 2 if there's one. So thank you for joining me. I'm sorry about the technical issues at the beginning of the stream. Hopefully I don't have the same if there is a game 2 and possibly game 3 in the series. Thanks everyone.